Well, hello, you trader nerds. Happy Columbus Day. We were just talking about it. And Christopher Columbus took risk when it was easier to sit on the couch and, just sit there and smoke your cigar. But he got in a boat and led a group and, discovered a lot of cool stuff. So he was a risk taker. And that's what you and I have to be. You just can't sit there and not take risk. So that's what we do here at Trader Nerds. We take risks. And sometimes our risk are too much and we pay the penalty for them as we did on August the 5th. And that's fine. No big deal. We just jump back on the saddle and we keep going. And real traders never trade alone. They trade with their fellow nerds. We got Babe Ruthless with us. We got Edwin with us. We got Eli with us. We got Hal and Mo and Sam and Sean and Stacy and Stefan and Steven and Vicky with an I and Vicky with a Y and Jim B 2 times and Ricardo. So howdy doody, y'all. Hope you're doing fine. Let's look at the markets today. It is Columbus Day, so things are going to be a little slow. And the market's up 0.70% on NQ. Look at that, up 142 points. That's good for our positions. And the S&P 500 up 42 points or 0.71%. So they're both about the same. Volume's a little low today. VIX is just under 20, 19.83. And the AD is 271 and is just made the highs for the day. So interesting stuff here. Let's go and look at our big green monster on NQ. Wow, look at this. We are now this is something. We had a jump. So now we're oversold for the fair market zone above us. So we thought we were going to have a pullback into this area. But if we stay here long enough, then it spools away, right? Because we're oversold. Let's look at the E-mini S&P 500 and see what we are doing here. And indeed, we have now broken above the 50% line, which is kind of cool. And we are headed to the 59.99. It is just a matter of time. We may hang out here for a little bit. Let's also look at the expected move on the week and see how the expected move looks like. So expected moves have been adding, they were about the same last week, and then we are heading a little bit higher. So we're anticipating a little bit higher week than what we had last week. So that's kind of cool to see the expected move. So we are headed up, 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 and away. Let's look at the linear regression. Linear regression is indeed, we did get the confirming candle outside of the channel. And that means that we are up, up, and away. So we have now broken out of consolidation and we are now resuming the path upward. And we can actually add some little lines that'll help us here to see the upward trend. And let's clone him. And move him up like that. So good deal. So that should show us that we're going to, go within those bounds probably for the most part. Sorry about my dogs barking. The plumber is here today. So always having issues with our plumbing. So it's a house that was built in 1860. We're just glad that it has plumbing. All right. So let's see our little account today. Now, y'all, it's been a long time since we've seen if we've made any money or not, hasn't it? We just sit here and let's see what we've done. We hadn't looked at it really since 9/24. So let's look and see if we're up a little bit of money. 10, 14, 24. Early voting starts tomorrow in Georgia. I hope to get my early voting done, which will be kind of good to get it out of the way. Everybody's been saying, let's go ahead and just get it done. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I normally like to vote on election day, but we'll go ahead and get it early. So let's see what our little account here is doing today. This little account is at 76,624. 76624. 76624. 76624. That is moving on up. We are headed in the right direction. And let's look at our Greeks and ratios, see what those are. We have 71 and negative 77. 71, negative 77. Let's put that in there. 71 deltas. Negative 71 theta. That's because of our hedges. And we said the VIX was at 19. And let's see what our cap requirement is over here. And our cap requirement is, I guess we need to count everything except for Bill. So if we were to say 28,000 28. What, man? I'm in a class right now. See if he can talk to you, Beth, and then to kind of relate to. I don't know. What's the? No, he didn't. He really didn't. Uh-huh. He did not tell me if that's the case or not. He didn't tell me. 12,625. Okay, 12,625. 12,625. So let's see here. What's that doing that? Oh, I put that in the wrong place. 12,625. Let's put what's wrong with this? Yeah. We'll go here. We'll go Vix's 19. 12. What did I say? 12,625. Sorry about that. A little plumbing issues going on. So we're using 16% of our capital. Well, that's a bunch, but that's because we're now doing, this was just our hedges, and then we've added in TQQQ and everything. Let's see if we're using any margin interest. We tried to get that out of the way. Let's see what we're doing here on margin interest now. See if we're margin interest, pending margin interest is this, but that's from what we've already paid, because you see cash is positive and settled cash is positive. So that should not be going up anymore. So that should be fine. All right, let's see how our little, our pending orders are doing for this account. Make sure I've got just this account checked. This one. There we go. Nothing else. All right, good. And so we got more than one working order in that account, don't I? Crap. Activity, field, and working. I've only got one working order. Crap. That account. Make sure we don't have anything else. Oh, where's all my working? Oh, wait, I got to do this. There we go. Now we got our working order. So we got 230 to 20 cents. That's a long way away. Is anything close at all? Yeah, we've got $1.75 down to $1.55. That's kind of close. We got $1.80 to $1.55. That's kind of close. So we've got some close things here. Let's see what does our P&L look like? This is always shows. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of weird, isn't it, that this thing is being over this way instead of here, because long stock looks this way, but I guess that's because we've got those negative theta hedges on that kind of make it look like that. That's interesting. All right, so let's see what else we can do. We go to positions. Let's look at our hedges. Now, remember, we basically decided not to include TMF in this because TMF is a non-correlated asset to ES. So we just wanted to do ES and TQQQ that we have. And let's look at our risk analysis. And that looks really good. Let's make sure that all of this is good. Oh my gosh. We've got $24,000 of protection. Wow, that looks really good. Let's see, make sure my TQQ is attached. Everything is lit up over here. Good. Okay, let's do that again just to make sure we've got everything looking good. $24,000 worth of protection. Looks good. On this would be this going down 60%, TQQ 60%, and the E-mini S&P going down 20%. So we have $24,000. If we did get a crash, y'all know exactly what we would do. We would close the hedges. We would take the 24,000, and then based on this being down, we're assuming around 60%. We would load that $24,000 up into $24,000 worth of TQQQ. All right. So let's go over the plan one more time. And y'all, I have tried to optimize this plan and to do, dual momentum. We've tried different things. We've tried stop losses, going into cash, going into TMV, and everything that I've done, unless y'all are trying something else that works, I have not been able to optimize what we've got here. So basically what we do is we go into TQQQ and TMF, and those are our two different things. TQQQ is a 3x leveraged NASDAQ 100 ETF, and TMF is a 3x leveraged 20 plus year treasury bond. And every month you start at TQQ 55%, TMF 45%. Then we use a couple of indicators. We use, and if y'all need these, let me know, but I've already got them set up. So we use the 10-month simple moving average of QQQQ, or of QQQ. Let me show you what that means. The 10-month moving average. And I'm going to now change this to QQQ, because this is what we're going to check each month. QQQ. And basically you're looking and you say, is QQQ above its 10-month moving average? Is the price above? Let me save this while I'm at it. Does anybody need this? If so, type it in the chat and I'll give it to you. 10 months. Let's save this. Let's save create as. That's the 10 monthly. All right. And then the second one that we look at is the 10 weekly EMA versus the 20 weekly EMA. And we're going to do that on QQQ too, because that's what we use. So you can see, you don't look at price on this one. You just look at the moving averages. Is the 10 above the 20? And the answer is yes. So if both of those things are correct, let me save that. If both of those things are correct, then we'll go back to our plan. And our plan says if QQQ is above that and it's above that, you increase your TQQ by 20%. Okay. So that would mean we would go from 55% to 75%. Everybody with me? If the trend indicators give mixed signals, one's up, one's down, you don't make any adjustment. And if it's below both of them, you decrease it by 20%. And then you go over here and you see this, if VIX is between 12 and 20, you increase TQQ by 7.5%. So what that would mean is we currently would have 82.5% of our money in TQQQ, but you do it on the first of the month. But we have an 80% max. So ensure the final allocations are within the 20-80% range. So now, since it says 82.5, you would bind that by 80%. So right now, if it were the 1st of November, we would put 80% of our money into TQQQ and 20% of our money into TML. And then we just balance on the first day of each month. Now, some of you, okay, why, out of curiosity, why do you use both Thinkorswim and Tasty? Are some features better on Toss? I like the charting better on Thinkorswim, Sam. That's one of the things that I like. I like these charts over here when it looks like this. I cannot do the big green monster on the tastytrade. So I hadn't figured out how to do that yet. So I basically do all my charts over here. And you could set these charts up, 10 and 20 and all that. You could set them up over here, right? Into here, you could say, but you know, and every time it does that waiting for data, and I hate that, you know, waiting for data, but you could certainly set your charts up over here, put your moving indicators on and go away with it. Yeah, you could do that. All right. Well, I hope you all have a great Columbus Day. I love all of you, and y'all be kind to one another. It's really important, and I will see y'all on tomorrow.